Hi, my name is Gloria. I served in the United States Army for 20 and a half years, from 1985 to 2005. I've been with JaredFit about 6 months. I am loving it. The instructors are great, and I have benefited so much. I really have fallen in love with JaredFit. Try not to miss a session. Love, love JaredFit.
Nearly all older adults can safely meet the national recommendations of engaging in low to moderate intensity physical activity. Do not exercise if you have any symptoms that have not been evaluated by your healthcare provider, such as pain in your chest, abdomen, or joints, unusual swelling, difficulty catching your breath, dizziness, or fluttering in your chest. If you experience any of these symptoms, stop and reevaluate before continuing. If you have any further questions, discuss your exercise plan with your healthcare provider.
Good morning. Welcome to JaredFit. I'm Paul Freilich. I'm a physical therapist at VA Puget Sound. This is Ileana Reyes. She's our nurse coordinator for JaredFit here at VA Puget Sound. This morning, we're going to lead you through some exercises for your entire body. Before we get started, some things you'll need. You'll want comfortable clothing, socks, and shoes. You'll want some water. If you want to have coffee or tea, make sure it's not too hot. A sturdy chair and some weights. I'm using 2 sets of weights. This is a heavier set that's 15 pounds, and then I'm using a lighter set that's 10 pounds, but you may want to use something lighter depending on your capabilities. Ileana also has a resistance band in addition to her weights, some 5-pound weights there. So you may need to experiment some as you practice this JaredFit session to find out what equipment works best for you. You may also want a towel if you get sweaty. And other than that, if you haven't eaten yet today, it's usually a good idea to have a little something to eat prior to JaredFit so you don't run out of energy. Let's get started with a warm-up. We'll start by rolling our head side to side, gently, to loosen up your neck. As I'll say throughout the program, everything that I do is only a suggestion. You do the exercises that work for you. You might have certain injuries or arthritis, let's roll the shoulders, that prevents you from doing certain exercises. The goal is just to remain in motion for the entire session and then come back and do it again another day. As you roll your shoulders around, you can also roll your arms around. I'm doing the exercises standing. Ileana is going to be showing you some alternative exercises that you can do sitting down if you have trouble with the standing exercises. I'm going to roll my hips around a little bit, try to loosen up the lower back. And at this time, I want you to become aware of your breathing. A lot of us have a tendency to hold our breath when we're concentrating on something that's a little tricky. I want you to never hold your breath during this workout. Next, we'll do some hip opening exercises. You can certainly hold on to something for balance while you do this. I'm just going to bring my leg up, out to the side to open up that hip. But I'm going to focus on my breathing as I do these warm-up exercises. Very helpful for your blood pressure to have good breathing. Other leg. Again, feel free to hold on to your sturdy chair, kitchen counter. And I'm doing about 5 of those, but you go at your own pace. If you want to do it more slowly, that's perfectly fine. Next, we'll do what I call little squat, little bend, which is just like it sounds. I'm just going to squat a little bit and bend a little bit. Your body's still cold, so don't try to force a deep stretch. Just trying to get some gentle movement in there through the hips and spine. Very good. Now we'll do something we call draw swords. You're going to reach down and across, and then up and back. Start with gentle movements. And as your body limbers up, you can make the movements bigger. Be careful not to twist your knee. If you need to allow your foot to pivot on the ground, that's fine. Whenever we bend over like this, leaning the head down, if that causes you any dizziness or lightheadedness, just please modify the exercise. Do something that you feel comfortable with. The goal here is long-term staying with some kind of exercise program. I'm going to switch to the other side. One thing you can think about as you exercise today is the rating of perceived exertion scale. The scale we're going to use goes from 1 to 10, which is just saying how hard as a proportion of your capability are you exercising. So a 1 is no effort, just sitting there, and a 10 is the maximum effort your body is capable of. Very good. Let's do some leg raises to the side. Most of you will probably need to hold on to something for balance with this. You're going to raise a leg out to the side, trying to go to the side and perhaps a little to the rear. I'm actually leading with my heel, so I'm not turning my toe out and I'm not lifting my leg forward. I'm trying to move my heel to the side and back a little bit. Again, if this exercise doesn't work for you, you can try something slightly different. Try to keep your upper body still and vertical. You should be feeling the muscular effort in your hip here. Remember to breathe. Other side. Again, go at your own pace. This is actually more challenging if you do it slowly. If you need to hold on to your sturdy chair while you do this, try to hold on lightly, just placing your fingers on the chair rather than putting all your weight on there. We still want you to be standing upright with your upper body vertical. Of course, it's very important to be safe during these exercises. We do want you to challenge yourself, but not risk of having a fall. Now I'm going to do some hamstring curls standing. Again, if you need to hold on to something for balance, that's fine. Try to keep your body steady, as if you're balancing a book on top of your head. As you place your foot back down, don't slam it back down on the ground. Place it softly. We don't want to beat up our feet. Especially if you have diabetes, you gotta take good care of your feet so they take good care of you. Go at your own pace. I'm gonna do 3 more. And remember to breathe. Very good. The next exercise is the golfer's pickup. For this, you'll use your sturdy chair. And we are practicing bending at the hip joint. So you'll stand on one leg, supporting yourself with the chair. It's okay for that leg to be a bit bent, keeping the back straight. Bend at the hip, as if you're trying to make the letter T with your body. I'm not quite flexible enough to make it all the way there, but that's the general idea. It's as if you're putting dishes in the dishwasher or clothes in the dryer without bending your back. We're trying to train the body to bend at the hip. Go as slowly as you like. Just remember to breathe. You can switch legs if you haven't already. Again, if you feel dizzy or lightheaded when we bend forward like this, then you may need to do a different exercise. Good. Now's a good time for a drink of water. And the next exercise will be goblet squats. For goblet squats, you'll hold a single weight in your hands. This helps to keep you balanced while you do some little squats here. The important part is that you're sitting back as if there's a kitchen stool behind you. You're sitting down onto that kitchen stool. You're keeping your chest upright, and the knees aren't really traveling forward either. You're just sitting your hips back. Remember to exhale during the tricky parts. 2 more. And hold the last one. I'm gonna crab walk side to side here to work on my agility a little bit. Trying to keep my hips in that same slightly squatted position. If you're seated, you just come up with some other movements that keep your body in motion for the entire duration. And relax. Now we're going to work on backwards bends. This just helps our balance. You want to have a sturdy wall behind you, or perhaps the sofa, just in case you do lose your balance backwards. All we're doing is leaning back, getting some range of motion in the spine there. Now, not everybody can bend back in the same way. If you have some spinal stenosis or arthritis, we don't want you to feel a pinch in your spine. Sometimes it can be helpful to contract your glute muscles to give some protection to the spine there. You can go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right if you like. We also don't want you to overstretch your belly muscles. So if your belly muscles feel uncomfortable, try sucking your belly button in slightly, and that'll protect your abdominal muscles there. If you need to, you can even hold on to the wall behind you and just practice reaching back as if you were in a kitchen and somebody opened a cabinet door and you had to lean back out of the way and still maintain your balance. Very good. The next exercise is push-ups. Push-ups you can do against the wall. You can also do them against the kitchen counter. We want to make sure your shoulders are comfortable with this exercise. Not everybody's shoulders are capable of doing the same range of motion. And the emphasis is on keeping a good plank position with your body here. So you may need to draw your belly button in slightly and squeeze your glutes some to keep your body a good straight position. Go ahead and do some push-ups as deep as you're comfortable doing. Again, you can do these leaning against the wall. There's all sorts of different ways to do this. You can be working on your core muscles. If you're seated, you can work on your arms and chest. If this is too easy for you, you could even do it with one leg in the air. So these exercises, you can be creative with them to find a level of difficulty that's appropriate for you. I'm going to switch legs. Remember to exhale. One more for me. And walk it off. Similar exercise now is to hold yourself in a plank position and raise a leg to the rear. Raise the leg as high as you can without it bothering your lower back. If your lower back tenses up and twinges uncomfortably as you raise the leg, just don't raise it quite as high. Remember, when you put your foot back down, not to scuff your foot. Place it back down softly. Go at your own pace. I'm going to do 3 more. Very good. You're probably pretty warmed up by now. If you need to pause, run to the bathroom, something like that, this is a good time. We're going to be doing bicep curls next. Bicep curls can be done seated, they can be done standing, they can even be done marching. Just remember to be aware of your breathing. The amount of weight that you're curling will affect how many repetitions you're going to do. It should not be such a heavy weight that you can't do at least 6 repetitions. And you don't want to be throwing your upper body around to try to get the weight up. Upper body, remain still, and remember to breathe. If you remember to exhale, I can pretty much guarantee you'll remember to inhale. We just want to avoid holding your breath. I'm going to do 5 more on each arm. Go at your own pace. Very good. Now, if you're still feeling a little chilly this morning, the next exercise will definitely get you warmed up. We're going to do sit to stands. You want to make sure your sturdy chair is supported against the wall so it doesn't slide around on you. If you're not capable of doing a full sit to stand, you can do a partial one. Just practice pushing yourself up part of the way. Preferably, if you're able, we're going to stand up with no hands or even with some weights. Do whatever you need to challenge yourself. Remember to exhale just before you start the hardest part of the exercise, like so. This is a great exercise to do so that when the doorbell rings, you don't look around and wait for somebody else to answer it, because you've gotten in good physical condition where you can say, "I'll get it." Let's do 5 more. Go at your own pace though. I'd rather you do 5 good ones than 20 sloppy ones. Very good. I'm going to put my heavy weights away. With these lunges, what we're trying to do is to take a step forward and then drop your hips down just like we did with squats. We don't want the knee to travel excessively forward. We want the upper body to remain steady. We're trying to sink the hips. Just for bonus core muscle exercise, I'm going to reach out when I get to the end of my lunge. Remember to exhale during the tricky parts. I'm starting with my right leg, going straight forward. If this exercise is easy, take a longer step. If it's hard, take a shorter step. Be soft on your elbows, don't bang your elbows. The real emphasis is on trying to get the hips to sink back a little bit. I'm going to switch legs. Please go at your own pace. Now, if there's a day that you planned on doing this exercise session and you're just feeling kind of sluggish and not feeling that great that day, I encourage you to still turn it on, give it a try, but just give yourself permission to go a little easier. Very good. I'm going to do diagonal lunges now. So I'm going to keep my hips and shoulders facing forward, and I'm going to step out at an angle. Some days you might be feeling great, and you exert yourself maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10 on that rating of perceived exertion. Other days you may not feel so great, and you may only do a 4 or a 5, and that's okay. The important thing is to just maintain the habit of getting regular exercise. If I'm going too fast, you can do them more slowly. If I'm doing too many repetitions for you to keep up with, do a few, pause and rest. I'm going to switch to the other diagonal. If this exercise doesn't work for you, by all means, you can do something else. But I have had participants who said they started out just taking very short steps, and over time they were able to lengthen into more of a lunge. Ideally, you're taking a little bit longer step than what you do in your day-to-day life, so that you do become more strong, agile, and mobile. So I think that's about 10 repetitions of that. Now I'm going to do to the side. When you step to the side, make sure you keep your kneecap directly over your shoelaces so you don't twist your knee as you sit your hips back. Try to press back up without your upper body wobbling around. If that's too challenging, take a smaller, shallower step. If it's too easy, take a longer, deeper lunge. This can be tricky to balance, so you may need to put the weights away and lightly hold on to the kitchen counter or a sturdy chair while you practice stepping side to side. One more for me. Now the other side. Once you have done this routine several times and you feel like you understand it well, you could certainly mute the audio and put on some of your favorite music. There's been some research that suggests that exercising with music helps you get a better workout. One more for me. Now the last of our lunges are the rear lunges. These can be tricky to balance, so again, you may want to put your weights down and hold on to something for support instead. If some of these exercises you just can't do for some reason, you can march in place, you can march seated, whatever you need to do to just keep your body moving. 2 more. Now for the last leg. Pay attention to how you're feeling, making sure that you're not holding your breath, making sure you feel like you're getting adequate oxygen. Particularly if you have any medical conditions, you can be aware of how those might affect you. If you feel like you're really running out of energy fast, it may be that you need to eat a banana or something prior to doing GiraFit. And one more for me. Great job. Put those weights away. Water break. We're going to get to the peak heart rate here. Now for our exercise, we're going to do high knees. High knees can be done seated. They can be done standing, holding on to something for balance. If you want, you can even add a little twist to engage your abdominal muscles. Make sure you're safe. I'm going to count down from 20, but you go at your own pace. 20. 19. 18. 17. This is the cardio portion of the exercise. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. Try to keep those knees up high. 11. 10. If you need to slow down, that's fine. 9. But if you're feeling good, challenge yourself. 8. Find some rhythm. 7. 6. Almost there. 5. 4. Keep pushing. 3. Knees up high. 2. 1. And jog. Catch your breath. Once you've caught your breath, we're going to work on side-to-side steps. Depending on your level of ability, these can be short steps, kind of weight shifting, or if you're doing really well, it can even be a bit of a hop. For extra credit, you can try to get your arms up with each step. Work your shoulders. Here we go. Go at your own pace. If you need to go more slowly, that's fine. If you need to hang on to a sturdy table or kitchen counter, that's fine. But try to take a little larger step than you would in everyday life so that you can actually become more agile and stronger. Again, important not to beat up your feet. So you want to be wearing comfortable shoes, good socks. You want to make sure that your feet are correctly groomed. Again, particularly if you have diabetes, we've got to take care of our feet. So don't bang your feet up with these hopping type exercises. 3, 2, 1. And back on the jog. Make sure you're feeling okay before continuing with more of these hops. If you need to just rest for a moment, let your heart rate catch up. If you're starting to feel pain, particularly in the Achilles tendon area, you need to back off and just do more of a weight shift rather than a hop. I'm going to keep one foot in front and one foot behind now. I'm going to hop forwards and back. Again, extra credit if you get your shoulders moving. If you were cold before starting this workout, you're probably warmed up now. Again, you could be holding on with one hand here for balance. Try to take a longish step without beating up your foot and while still being safe. 3 more for me. And jog. Catch your breath, check in with how your body's doing. If you need to rest a little longer, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll proceed to having the other leg in front. If this is your first time doing this workout, I encourage you to dial down the intensity a bit, because you might be sore in places you didn't know you had. And I want you to not regret doing the workout so that you come back and do it again and again. We've seen some amazing benefits from people who have stuck with this program for 3-4 months. 2 more for me. All right, jog. You can keep a slow jog if you like. If you're feeling that you haven't been adequately challenged, you can try to do some speed work. 5, 3, 2, 1, and slow it down. Okay, once you've caught your breath adequately, this is a good time for a water break. You've made it through the hardest part of the workout. We're going to work on our agility now. I'm going to be doing figures of 8, jogging around and around, practicing my left and my right turns. Now, to challenge yourself a bit, I would encourage you now to try to get your toes up high off the ground. You might have to go slowly, but try to get those toes up. If anybody's ever given you a hard time for scuffing your feet, this is the time to redeem yourself. Like you're walking on hot sand at the beach. Remember to breathe. A lot of falls are caused by people catching their feet on the ground, like a sidewalk seam. So we don't want to scuff our feet. Some reasons for that can be because of weak hips that make it difficult to pick your feet up high. So if you need to hold on to something while you do these exercises, that's fine. Bring it to the center. We're almost to the end. Next is going to be a single dumbbell bent over row. For that, I'm going to take my sturdy chair and a fairly light dumbbell. I'm going to kneel on the chair. Make sure you're really stable and comfortable. If your body feels like it's in an awkward position, you're likely to pull something in your neck. So make sure your neck, your lower back, comfortable, and then you're just going to pull the weight up to your armpit. Remember to breathe. Making sure that you're feeling okay cardiovascularly. If you feel a little off in this kneeling position, then maybe just sit back in your chair again. The goal here is the long game, that you stick with this program for weeks and months, and you will find amazing benefits. Even if on any given day, maybe you only do half of the exercises, that's okay. The point is to keep showing up. And continue to breathe. 2 more. Now hold the arm upright and you can do a tricep extension like so. Trying just to move the forearm rather than the whole arm around. This is a surprisingly hard exercise. Make sure you don't bang your elbow by swinging it hard. Just try to work that muscle, the tricep muscle on the back of your upper arm. 3 more. And switch to the other side. Bent over rows. Make sure your body feels stable and comfortable, so you don't pull something. We are almost done with the workout. As long as you're feeling good, keep pushing. If you're not feeling good, forgive yourself. It's okay. The main effort is to keep showing up. Keep doing these exercises regularly. 3 times a week, if possible, will help you get stronger. If you only do it about twice a week, that may be adequate to maintain your level of ability. But we have a lot of people who have done this program for over a year and are in better shape now than they were when they were a year or 2 younger. And elbow extensions, keep the elbow up and straighten out the arm. Again, a surprisingly hard exercise. Do not hold your breath, let it out. 3 more. Great work. Let's do little squat, little bend, or any other exercise that you'd like to do. If there's a body part that you feel we neglected to exercise during this session, you can work on that now. But my main emphasis now is the breathing. Breathe at your own pace. Everybody's got different lungs. You can make note for the next time if you need to find some different socks, some different shoes, some different pants, whatever makes you comfortable and more likely to succeed in continuing with this program. If you don't have weights or resistance bands, you can use water bottles. Starting to let the heart rate slow down here. As long as it doesn't bother you to dip your head downwards, go ahead and do draw swords. Again, being careful not to twist the knee. I'm going to switch sides. Try to make big sweeping movements now that your body is so thoroughly warmed up. Very good. A few more breaths. If you have a really good balance and you want to do some kind of yoga thing now while you're doing your breaths, you can do that. Most people are not going to be able to do that. The important thing is just to work on your breath. Not everybody can reach their arms overhead, and that's fine. At this point, great work. We're going to finish off with some stretching, which will make you less likely to have muscle cramps or overuse injuries. If you need to take a break, go get some water, a snack, whatever you need to do, pause and return for some stretching. I'm going to show you a little bit of each stretch, but you can then continue stretching as much as you like. I recommend holding each stretch for 30 seconds, 2 repetitions. First is the calf stretch. There's multiple ways to do this. If you have a towel or a strap, you can do it seated and pull your foot upwards towards you. You want to have your heel on the ground if you're doing the stretch like me, and make sure the foot is pointed straight forward, feeling the stretch in the back of the leg. At the same time that you're stretching, you can be working on your breathing. I'm going to switch and show you the other leg. My biggest problem with stretching is that I get bored easily, but you'll find that if you put on some music or a video or a podcast or something, you can sit there and enjoy it while you get a good long stretch worked out. This can help prevent the problem of where you lie down to go to sleep at night and suddenly your calf muscle cramps. So again, something like the calf stretch, maybe 2 repetitions of 30 seconds. To stretch the thigh muscle on the front, the quadriceps, you want to be careful not to fall down with this. What you may want to do is have the wall in front of you and a chair behind you. You can put that leg up behind you and stand up straight. You may feel some stretch in the front of your thigh. If you can grab your shoe or even your whole ankle, then that will put you in even more of a position to stretch it. Not everybody's knee will bend that far. If you need to loosen up on the knee some, bring the thigh back some. As long as you feel the stretch in the front of the thigh, you're getting what you need. Again, 2 repetitions of 30 seconds is a pretty good stretch. When you're doing these stretches, if you're only able to hold it for a few seconds, then you're stretching too hard. A gentle stretch is adequate that you can hold for a good long time. So that's the front of the thigh. The last stretch we'll do is the back of the thigh, the hamstring muscles. There's multiple ways to do this. Ileana's going to do it seated, where you just put a leg out in front and lean over at the hips. I'm going to hold on to the wall for support, put a leg up on something. It's okay if the knee is not perfectly straight. I'm bending at the hips. There's no need to bend your spine. You'll still get the stretch in the hamstring just leaning forward at the hips. The back of the thigh is what we're targeting here. I'm going to switch to the other leg. Again, I encourage you to do more stretching after the video is over. And besides these 3 muscles, you can stretch any other muscles that feel tight on you. Everybody's body is different. Great work. I encourage you to make sure that you're getting adequate water, good nutrition, maybe a little bit of protein involved in that. No need to get a bunch of powders and shakes, but something, maybe some eggs or something like that to give you some protein to help you build the muscle that you're working on here. Thank you for joining us.